down the Thunder and the Pacers. I thought OKC really figured it out on defense in the second half in that game. Dort was just absolutely unbelievable. The line is now -9.5 for the Thunder at home. Looking at the total of 225, and I know we had a question about will SGA 30 points. Yeah, I like him to get 30 points. Is at home. It's probably going to mean a few more free throws at that mid-range. That mid-range shot is just really, really good. I think Nembhard has been playing unbelievably great defense, but I just think SGA at home to go up 3-2 is going to be a yes on that one, Bruce. So far in this series, the Thunder slightly better offensive rating and defensive rating. So the numbers show, even though the series is tied, Thunder's been a little bit better. I thought Hartenstein starting was really important, even though he only had 2 points. A big body helping to set those screens really got them some good open shots, and the rebounding was big. The Thunder out-rebounded the Pacers by 10 in the last game. That was one of the themes in game one, where the Pacers still won, where the rebounding just wasn't there. So the other thing, pace has not been that high in this series. Only 158 shots between both teams, but 71 free throw attempts. So I'm expecting a really big defensive effort from OKC here. Well, I mean, they do that pretty much every night. I'm looking at this 225 total, and my lean is going to be to the under on this one. I think this is going to look a little bit like a rock fight, and I expect OKC to come out guns a-blazing from the very beginning. And if they play that level of defense that I saw in the second half, it's going to be really, really tough for points to be scored here. You know, not to mention Nembhard's been good. Nesmith has been good. I know Jalen Williams had a good game, but man, he had to work really, really hard for those. So I'm looking at the under 225 as the play in this game. Another prop we talked about, we actually talked about Obi Toppin going over his rebounds last game, and he did go over. This guy's playing 27 minutes. Miles Turner is in an absolute funk. His shots are like barely grazing the rim. I think Toppin is going to be the guy that's going to get a lot of minutes, especially if Miles Turner, A, gets into foul trouble, or B, starts shooting the ball as bad as he did. So Obi Toppin over 5.5 rebounds, played 25 or 27 minutes the last two games, had 6 and 7 rebounds. So if he comes off the bench, plays well, they're not going to be taking him out. So that is your breakdown. I do like SGA to get to 30 points. I like Toppin over the rebounds, and I like the under 225. Let's bring on Jeff on the world. We got a couple of plays here. We're going to start with Ralph Michaels, and he's got a your fee for today. I see some of you are probably on this one. Rockies and Nationals. The Rockies 10-4. Yes, there will be a run in the first inning. The last 14 road games, Nationals 5-1 your fee run. So Ralph likes the yes run in the first inning for the Rockies and the Nationals. Pavlos has a Gold Cup play, Guadalupe and Panama, over 2.5 goals. Last Gold Cup, all 3 games for Panama over the 2.5 goals. Same exact thing in 2021. He's got a much more detailed write-up on the WagerTalk free picks page. So if you want to read a lot more stats about it, look at that one. But yeah, Panama, when they get to the Gold Cup, there are a lot of goals that scored. And then we talked about team totals all last week. I ended the week going 5-2 on my team totals. We did that paper trading, so we're going to start attacking. We're going to put official plays up for clients. This is not an official play. This is when I do like the Red Sox under 1.5 team total in the first 5 innings. Gilbert is pitching for Seattle. 3 out of the last 4 games held teams to under 2 runs in his innings pitch. Red Sox, stunning trade with Devers. So he's not in the lineup anymore. So, oh no, poor Titans. John, can we pull up Titans comment there? Just got a Devers jersey for Father's Day. 3 hours later, he's gone. Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, man.
So I'm actually going to go under on his outs today. I was just looking at some current lines, under 17.5 total outs recorded, plus 105. Again, not sure why this line is plus money. He's been, like I said, one of the worst starters in the league this year. 7.14 ERA. His last 2 starts, I understand he went over the number, but that was against some of the worst hitting teams, the Rockies and the Pirates in baseball. So today's up against the Phillies, which I think are one of the premier teams in baseball, and near the top of the league, hitting righties also. So they've been heating up lately, and giving the plus money on the under there. That's his total out. So he has a chance for an early exit here, I think. So Give me the plus money on that. And, it's
Pretty interesting game as Otani comes back to start. He's likely to just be the starter. He's going to go an inning two. Last night I heard three, but I think it's going to be one or two innings. Keep in mind, he obviously playing for the Dodgers. He wasn't playing in minor league games and working up that way, and he didn't have any type of anything other than, batting practice and just going out on the side field pitching. So I think I read where it was 660 days or 630 days since he's actually taken the mound. So I expect him to struggle. And even though a lot of people will bet the under here, thinking they've got two ace pitchers, I think we got some good value on the over here. I mentioned Otani in that situation. I'm going to go with the bullpen game for the most part, but they've got really good bullpen pitchers, so we'll see how it goes. Dylan Cease going for the Padres. And if you take a look at his last few starts, you see that maybe he's starting to come around. The only problem is last time he pitched was on the 10th, just 6 days ago. He went up against the Dodgers, and he goes 7 shutout innings, 11 strikeouts. I usually look to go against whatever a starting pitcher did in the previous game against that team, and we all know the Dodgers can hit. If you look at the starts before that, though, he gave up 3 runs to the Giants. He gave up 3 runs to the Pirates, 3 runs to the Braves, 3 runs to the Blue Jays. So after the Dodgers saw him last week, I would expect at least 5 runs out of the Dodgers against him today, plus what's going on with Otani in his first game. I think this game is we're getting a nice value here on the over in this game. It's currently at 9, minus 115 to minus 120. So we're getting over 9 at either plus 100 or minus 105. That's the way I'm going to play this one. Is once again, the Dodgers, it's to be the second time in a week they face Cease, and Cease dominated them last time. This Dodgers team is the best hitting team in baseball, along with the Yankees. I expect runs to be scored in this one.
I love it, Brian. Anything surprising so far long term for the baseball season? Anything that's kind of jumping out at you that's kind of surprised you that's taken place over the first part of the season?
Yeah, there's some teams out there that I thought was going to struggle. Tampa Bay, although Tampa Bay's played a lot of games thus far at home, they had that big separation of because of the weather down there in Florida. They've been a pretty good team. I think the Red Sox, even though with the trade yesterday, I think in the long run it helps them. They get all that money off the books, and that was a long term. So to pay a DH like that, that kind of money, it doesn't work out very well. Now he goes to San Francisco, where he's probably going to be the DH again because their third baseman is great. He's an all-star defender. So we'll see how that works out. But I like what they've gotten back, some younger players. And Boston this year is, I believe, 9-17 in one-run games. And you just don't see that. Their bullpen keeps getting better. They just got one of the relievers from the Giants. I expect the Red Sox to go on a nice run here.
Series Game 6. It was a 5-1 victory for the Oilers. Of course, we don't know who's going to start in goal here. Stuart Skinner lost his job again. Prior to the Stanley Cup Finals, he was the hottest goalie in the playoffs, albeit he'd already lost his job once. Now he loses his job again. He has been very good coming back after getting benched. And I expect to see Skinner. I think Skinner is the right choice for Game 6. And I'm focusing in on the shots on goal because Game 5, we saw Edmonton with 21 shots, Florida with 18 shots, fewer than 40 combined shots on goal, and somehow it managed to just sneak over the total. You look back to last year's series in Game 6, it was low scoring, and Edmonton with 19 shots, Florida with 21 in Game 6. That's 40 shots. And in Game 7, 21 shots for Edmonton, 24 for Florida, 45 shots. Anytime you're getting less than 50 shots, it's a low volume game for shots on goal. And this is a product of Edmonton's goaltending problems. They got to really tighten up and really limit the chances. I expect to see that again here in Game 6 on the road. And I expect to see very much a repeat of what we saw in Game 5 without the 5-goal third period. So we're hoping it stays under that 6.5 total.
Yeah,